here on the Say Jackson YouTube channel. We got some big news to report in what appears to be a trend that no city wants to see. But hey, this is Jackson, Mississippi, we're talking about. So there are no such things as sacred cows in Jackson, Mississippi. They would just kill them too. Lose Full-Serv has been an absolute, I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination to call it an establishment, a Jackson establishment, an institution. Maybe that's a better word. Right there in Belhaven for the last decade. I mean, just known for having absolutely some of the best, most unhealthy, I mean that as a compliment, uh, stick to your ribs food in the South. I mean, really, it's probably underrated to be, if that's possible, to be as good as they are and be underrated. Lose Full-Serv is probably underrated, but they have decided, they just announced on their Instagram account that they are closing their famous Belhaven location, located right next door there to the legendary former Jitney Jungle location, right there on Fortification Street in front of the Belhaven neighborhood, or in the Belhaven neighborhood, however you want to say that. Now, they're not necessarily calling it a closing, but a moving. They've already got a Lose Full-Serv out there. I believe it's at Renaissance in Ridgeland. It's called Lose Full-Serv Sandwich Shop. They're going to close it for a couple weeks, get it retrofitted to be able to adjust to the menu from Lose Full-Serv, and they're going to reopen as Lose Full-Serv. Let's go to their Instagram, read their full post. First off, congratulations to Lose for getting out of Chalkways Jackson. I mean, I do hate it for the good folks of Belhaven, the folks that aren't partaking in the carnage and chaos that is Democrat death culture brought to you by the Free the Land administration led by Chokwe and Lumumba. But you know what? That's life in the big city, as my friend Kim Wade would say. But anyway, let's read Lou's announcement about them moving. As we approach our 10-year anniversary, we've been reflecting on how grateful we have been for the support and love you have all shown us in supporting our dreams over this last decade. It has been our pleasure to serve the Belhaven area for the last 10 years, and this spot will always hold a piece of our hearts. However, recent years have provided obstacles in this Jackson location that are proving more difficult to hurdle as time goes on. It is with much consideration that we are announcing our last day in Jackson will be Saturday, September 28th. As many of you know, we have a Ridgeland location called Lou's Southern Sandwich Company. I was close on the name. We love this location and see it as having the very best potential to continue the Lou's Full-Serv brand. To accomplish this, we would like to pivot our focus back to one restaurant and have made the decision to merge our two businesses. Lou's Southern Sandwich Company will also be closing briefly beginning September 28th and will reopen on the second week of October as Lou's Full-Serv. This restaurant will be operating as the Lou's Full-Serv you have all come to know and love over the years, with addition of our favorite Southern sandwich menu items. That's good news for folks out there. Says we are so excited for this change and cannot wait to bring our passion for fine dining Southern cuisine to the Madison County area. We hope you will come see us off in Jackson with the bang. Come see us off with a bang in Jackson and welcome us to Ridgeland with the same way. Thank you again for continued support, and we will be keeping you up to date as we make all these exciting changes. Stay tuned and hashtag eat at Lou's. What a death blow to Jackson, to Belhaven, to the Fortification Street area, just there in the last 2 weeks. Finans, done. They just had their grand closing celebration or funeral, however you want to look at that, a couple days ago. I have heard about a fella, I don't want to say his name, I don't think it's going to be public information yet, who is attempting to buy Finans, and they're going to, if it all goes through, they're going to close it. Well, it's closed now. They're going to do some remodeling, refresh, reimagining, and possibly reopening. But all that's going to be contingent on some financial stuff. So we'll see. Fingers crossed for the fans of Finans that name will live on. I think it's a great IP as far as intellectual property. I think the brand, the name Finans, carries weight. I'm going to say something that a lot of people aren't going to like, but a lot of the LGBTQ crowd of the female persuasion, I believe they're called lesbians, had taken that bar over. And look, that's not a bad thing, but it is a turnoff to a lot of people. So when one crew in particular takes over an establishment, it can push other people away. I think that hurt Finans from other folks going over there that maybe didn't want to be around that. You may not like hearing that. That's just my opinion. It is what it is. It doesn't bother me. Uh, Going to that area was way more of a concern to me than who was at the bar. But again, just speaking from personal experience in Jackson and owning bars and clubs in Jackson, of which crowds can be a little harder to work with versus others. And again, people don't like hearing that, but that's just the damn truth. And I don't really care what y'all think about it. Back to lose Full-Serv. Look, they put a nice spin on this. Kudos to whoever runs their social media, their marketing director. They really made it look like they're closed. They're moving, not closing, and they're merging two businesses. Look, at the end of the day, they're closing this location. Spin cycle that however you want. But congratulations to them on having had a plan in place, an exit strategy. Because say what you want, say what you will, doing business in Jackson's hard. The city of Jackson is in business against the businesses in Jackson. They really don't want to see, when I say they, I mean the Free the Land administration, the caucus that runs Jackson, Chakaway Antar Lumumba and his merry band of Free the Land thugs that they came down here from Michigan in the 70s. They don't want successful Caucasian-owned businesses. It doesn't fit their narrative. Again, they'll never say that. The track records, the resume speaks for itself. Look at all the businesses they've run off over the last 6-7 years, in particular the last 2 to 3. They'll blame it on COVID. They'll blame it on everything else. At the end of the day, it's crime, and it's the city's inability to get their infrastructure and just to get their shit together. They just don't do it. They refuse to do it. If they ever actually fixed the problems in Jackson, you would understand who the problem was. And they don't need that. It cuts the water faucet of federal money off if they actually fix the problems. Understand that. Understand that all these idiots got 501c3 charitable organizations, whatever you want to call them, and they siphon money off to those things to help fix the problem that they created that they have no intentions on fixing. So what else closed in the last few weeks? And another restaurant closed down in downtown Jackson. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. They got another location. They got 2 or 3 of them. So they closed their downtown location. The Mayflower reopened. I think the Daiquiri bar just closed where they had that mass shooting at. At least they removed the signage. Somebody did reach out to me the other day and said it appears that they are not closed. And one of the victims' mothers, I just saw the Facebook messages today. I hadn't had a chance to speak to him. So look, it's getting harder and harder. If y'all hear that dinging, I apologize. I've got Facebook pulled up because we're about to go there and read some of the comments from other people where I shared this on Facebook and see what the consensus of folks is. And more and more people do tend to agree with me. But I told lose Full-Serv folks, congratulations on getting out of Jackson. And let's see, look at some of their comments here. Barry Sam says, that's exciting. Ryan says, let's effing go. One person says, boo. Here's where your boy said, congratulations. This person says, we will be able to eat there so much more now that you're closer. This person says, can't wait to go. Looking forward to seeing the new location. Missy says, we love Ridgeland. It's amazing. Tri-County Restoration's awesome. You better get more space to join in your current location. Christy says, oh my God, this makes my heart sing. This person, this is awesome. Smiley faces. Misery's Human Savage says, I'm so sad to see my favorite neighborhood restaurant move. Yeah, look, there's going to be people that are disappointed. And I feel sorry for their loyal fans and clientele right there in the neighborhood. One of the perks, if you want to call it that, of living in Belhaven is you're surrounded by a couple great restaurants. Finans. You got the brewery there. You got that great little restaurant connected to the brewery. I don't remember the name, but they got phenomenal pizza. It's relatively new. You've got or had lose Full-Serv. So overwhelmingly, the comments on Instagram are positive. People seem very excited about them moving. Let's check out my Facebook page here. Let me move the screen over so you guys can see that as well. Again, sorry for the dinging. There's no way to stop that without muting the volume on this app. Let's see. Mississippi Department of Propaganda, who are usually a thorn in my side and a bit of a nemesis of mine online. They said, thank you for running all the decent places out of Jackson, Mayor Dope Boy. That's Chakwe and Tarla Moomba they're talking about. You know, when you're well, I don't want to call these guys my enemies, but when your nemesis agree with you, you know it's bad for for the other people being the mayor. Crystal says, makes me sad though, because this location is cool. The atmosphere there makes it fun, a fun dining experience. Glad they will be closer. However, sad for them to have to leave. You know, you never want to see that. You really don't. Dave says, wonder why. They always were packed when we have gone. And some of the replies say, you want to open and run a business with that crap for leadership in your capital city? Absolutely not. Another replier says it's going to take a serious change in leadership to stop the bleeding in more ways than one. Ryan also says Jackson is toast. Another person replies, says time to go stayed as long as they could. Business is down. Diane says last restaurant leaving Jackson, turn out the lights. Brandy says yes. They don't have the bread pudding at the original location, so I'm excited they're bringing it here. Their original location is great. Look, I have had their bread pudding before. I've only eaten there inside it once or twice. A friend of mine dated a girl that worked there, or hooked up with a chick that worked there, and she hated us after it went sideways with them or whatever. So I was always scared to go. I didn't want to see her. She was crazy as hell. So I never really went back, but I did order to-go food from there a good bit, and their bread pudding is phenomenal. So look, overwhelmingly, people are excited to see them end up in Ridgeland. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are upset they're leaving, but look, Jackson's going that direction, unfortunately. And look, in defense of Jackson, not the leadership, but in defense of Jackson, a lot of new options are opening up over in Belhaven. Some of these older places, I'm not talking about Lou's here either. Lou's has obviously stayed relevant, stayed clean, stayed up to date, kept a good crowd. But some of the other places closing, Finans, I addressed what I believe was one of their problems. Okay, let me close out of that. I addressed what I believe one of Finans' main problems is one particular demographic of people took over, and it's kind of a polarizing demographic, and it alienated folks that didn't really care to be a part of that. It is what it is. Again, you don't have to like it. It just is what it is. Let's see here. You've just got a few older places there that have been around a while, and they're just not doing the business they once were. And you had a few places that have really stepped their game up. You have the new brewery over there. You got a few other things. You got Martin's doing very well right down the road. Big investment was made into that. You've got the bowling alley and that whole facility up there in Fondren, the yard. I don't hang out at these places. I enjoy downtown Brandon. I don't have to go to Jackson to seek out any of this stuff. We have great places here. That's why I moved out here. So I'm sure something will come in behind Lou's and do just fine. Sometimes you just need a fresh set of eyes on a place, a fresh set of inspiration. And we'll see how it all shakes out. But with all that said, they're not moving because business is booming or because there weren't challenges they felt like they could overcome regularly. Nobody shuts down a super profitable establishment because they want to. There's usually other factors at play that they feel like they can't overcome and deal with. And they sort of addressed that there. And they said, what was the exact quote about Jackson? It said, however, recent years have provided obstacles in this Jackson location that are proving more difficult to hurdle as time goes on. The water was a big deal, and it really cost people a lot of money and a lot of business. And public perception's hell. The crime problem in Jackson, even though they're in the Capitol Police District there, the CCID, people are scared to come downtown. Or to Jackson, period. Yeah, are there some people who don't care? Absolutely, and God bless them. Don't live in fear, but always have situational awareness and understand where you're at. And Jackson's a different place. There's a hashtag on Instagram says hashtag Jackson is not a real place due to all the shenanigans, chaos, and carnage that goes on there. I was just checking the murder count for the year. It's up to 83. 83. And I'm wearing my NASA shirt tonight in honor of the little thug Grand Theft Auto ghetto astronaut that got arrested for capital murder in one of my previous videos from yesterday. You can go check that out here on my YouTube channel. So people just don't have to come to Jackson anymore. There's great establishments in the suburbs. Not taken away from the establishments in Jackson, but at some point, you got a law of diminishing returns. Why drive to Jackson to get great country fried steak when I can get it right here in Brandon? Why drive to Jackson to get a great burger? Well, I can get right here in Brandon. Burgers, Blues, Barbecue. They got one in Madison, one in Flowood, one in Brandon. If you live in Gluckstadt, you got a Martin's right there, out there in Madison County. Why go to Jackson if you ain't got to? So on and so forth. My dog here. The talent pool that runs these restaurants, these are the entertainment venues, these bars, they realize that if they want to continue to grow and strive, they're going to have to look outside Jackson a lot of the times. Hopefully, at some point, Jackson will get a new administration that focuses on economic growth and keeping their business partners happy and satisfied, not playing the race card, not favoring Black-owned businesses over white-owned, or frankly, anything else other than Black-owned. And that's my hill to die on. I've owned businesses in Jackson, and I can tell you from personal experience, especially with this administration, they favor minority-owned businesses over Caucasian-owned businesses, and they just don't give a damn what you think about it. Just ask them. I mean, they're on tape all the time talking about the blackness of the city and the fact that the state's trying to come in and make Jackson a little safer, make things run a little bit better in Jackson. They call it a threat to the blackness of the city. Well, if I'm a white in the city, or frankly, any other race in the city, well, that's concerning to me. That's very concerning. That's the kind of stuff the bad guys in World War II would say, which is ironic because they always say that we're the bad guys in World War II when it's really them. All right, look, I'm going to jump off here. Didn't mean to go 17, 18, almost 20 minutes on this video. Congratulations to lose Full-Serv. Condolences to the folks in Belhaven losing another institution in their neighborhood. But glad to see the folks out in Ridgeland get a new spin on their lose Full-Serv out there. Actually get the full lose Full-Serv experience, not just the Southern Sandwich Company. There's nothing wrong with that. I love a good sandwich. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. WYAB 103.9 FM right here in Central Mississippi. Be sure to get out and support some of our great sponsors that we talk about on our radio show, that we talk about here on this YouTube channel. We'll be talking more and more about our sponsors here on YouTube as we go. But of course, guys, while you're out there at Lose Full-Serv, why don't you go ahead and text my name to Men's Health of Mississippi and get you a complimentary testosterone screening courtesy of the Clay Edwards Show. If you're suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, or sleep disturbances, text Clay to 601-327-8550. They're going to get you hooked up with a free testosterone screening today. Well, not today, but they'll get you scheduled with it today. And you'll go in and get it done. Then you can leave there and stop by Lou's Full-Serv out there and enjoy some of your favorite Lou's food. Hey, Lou's, you consider sponsoring the Clay Edwards Show? We got a little following. Maybe you've heard of us. Y'all stay blessed. I'm going to enjoy a little Thursday night football. Peace out.